All right, good morning, traders, and welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. I'll be your host. All right, good morning, traders, and welcome. And we are going to look at the order flow, live forward-looking analysis. From our reading of the order flow, we'll try to very objectively go through the process and read it and analyze it. And the better job we do there, the more we can see where price might go next. And that's one of the edges and advantages of order flows. You can do that. It is, I think, in my opinion, at least rather challenging to do that in candlestick and bar data compared to order flow products. Let's go through the disclosures and then jump in. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in and take a look here. You can see the movement to the down here in the S&P 500. That's what we're looking at. Let's jump back and take a look at the bigger picture. This is kind of an odd move, to be honest. Very odd move. Look at the volume in here. Look at the color of the dots on this move down. Look at the volume bars in here as well. Okay, so very, very strange. There might be a lot of iceberg orders in here. See if we get that. Yeah, there are. See that. We have a lot of liquidity here on the bid down in this area here as well, around this 45.16 to 14 level. And we're just trading up into high liquidity here at 45.22. We've been trading around in here since well, you can see here 940. So for the last 25 minutes or so, we've been in this little zone in here. You can see the profile as well. And just noting that a lot of the volume here is slight uptrend in this little move here, but a lot of buy volume. Okay, so that makes it actually a little bit more challenging to understand in here. Also, this move down, kind of challenging to understand. It kind of makes you scratch your head a bit. We want to see the if we see buyers, we want to see the price moving up. We'll take a look at some of the pockets in here and understand some of those details. Before we do that, though, let's jump to the bigger picture. What's going on there now? We have the daily over here on the left-hand side, and then we have the hourly chart in the middle and the 15-minute here on the right. So what's going on in the daily? Well, we've been covering the daily a lot. I mean, we had FOMC non-farm that accounted for these really big moves to the upside, and then a lot of chop back and forth. And then what was the data point here? It was CPI, I think, right? That we see the move to the upside here. We have or I'm sorry, this is how we closed the week last week after all that strong data the previous week. So yeah, last week it chopped a bunch. That's right. This week here, we had our CPI data and we see the move. Now, we were all over this. We were looking for it to come up into this area up in here. For that day here, this was such a big move, and the move had already taken place. 8:30 a.m. was the majority of that move. 9:30 cash open, and then just some back and forth, really, with a slant to the upside, thinking that let's try to spike above these swings up here, and that's kind of where we've left off, as you can see on the daily here. So we just kind of spiked up on the daily here and tested the previous high, and we see sellers come in. So it didn't quite get to that previous high. You can see that more clearly here on the hourly chart, and then you can see the move back into the range here. All right, now on the 15-minute chart, let's just add a little bit of data in here. Okay, I don't know if that helps or not. Yeah, let's actually take that away. So what we did was you can see price spiked up above here, this swing at this 29 level, and then right back down to where it broke out from here. And market doesn't really look like it knows what direction it wants to go. Let's read the behavior, the players. What are they telling us? Well, when we first looked at this chart, we didn't understand the behavior in here. Very odd to see this buying, yet we're going down. Yeah, so here's our 930 cash open, quick move to the downside, right back up, and then it kind of dribbled off on or buy volume. Right now we get this question a lot, like how is that possible? How can the market move down like that on more buy volume? Well, it has to do with the auction process in here, and we see buyers in here. Okay, now unfortunately I had to start my computer a bit later. I would have loved to have seen the iceberg orders in here. Maybe someone has it and can take a screenshot over in Discord, right? And we can take a look at this in here, because I can only think that there's got to be I'm not seeing a lot of high liquidity in here. I see some in here that's absorbing. I see some here on the offer, on the bid here though. Sellers take it on, and then all of this buying back and forth in here fails to move the market higher. So someone must be on the other side of the trade in here, and I would imagine that we're going to see a lot of hidden orders, or just maybe we have to kind of zoom in and splice in here and take a look at some areas. Now you can see that the data quality in here is parsed, so I unfortunately do not have good data to take a look at in here. So that is unfortunate. So I actually started my session right here, 9:39, almost 9:40. Okay, so take a look on from there. There's some absorption, but absorption all over the place on the way down as well. Yeah, and here we should see the market move. The CVD should be lower as well on here. That makes sense. It is, because I don't see a lot of that buying like previously, and this move makes sense as well. Yeah. All right. It might be the parse data then. Maybe I'm getting kind of different reading in here, but this makes sense. This move makes sense to me, and this move makes sense to me, and yeah, so do all of them from here on out, to be honest. All right, D&T matter. Thank you. Let's take a look here. So you got your icebergs here on the way down. Yeah, so a lot of icebergs. Well, a couple thousand or so, right, on the way down here. They're here. Here's 1100. Here's 190, 191, 300, 100, and just less on the bid. There's a 500 here, but that's right at the open. Let's take a look at another one. Yeah, no, this makes sense. Like this one makes good sense though. It's that first one though. Thank you for that. That's good. All right. Well, so anyway, let's take a look in here, and we're still kind of chopping around. Very strong bid in this area here. Now I want to relate this to the bigger picture though, because even the bigger picture here is a little challenging to read. The swing up here, this makes sense. The fade back into the range. What is it doing right now? Well, I would look for the bigger picture here. I see this kind of red candle here, and we're just testing these areas, and we're still down here. So I'm looking for sellers to retest this swing here at 45.14, and then maybe we can get down into some of these lows in here as well. All right, so we just had our little pullback in here, and then you can see the sellers are starting to come in again. Okay, so we're at the swing of that previous candle, looking for the sellers to try to take it down into this 14, and then maybe we can get some momentum into some of these lower areas here as well. Okay, so this would be down around 45.10. This is 45.06, and then the figure is going to be down here. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look here. Here we go. Now it's kind of a hard read. I mean, like, yeah, I'm looking for sellers to trade right into these guys here, these limit buy orders. Okay, so I see the selling coming in, not so much buying. I'm seeing the selling coming in again, and yeah, just got to go with who's controlling the market at the moment. Okay, so yeah, looking for these sellers. Now, a lot of liquidity down here. That's what we want to ascertain in here. Does it transact? Does it trade? Do we see these aggressive buyers come in and really lift the market? Okay, now see them starting to pull here. That allows the sellers to hit it harder and try to hit 15. They're pulling at 15 as well. So let's see if we get to 14. Okay, and remember 14 was that first swing, right? This one. So I'm looking for the test to there, and then maybe we can get some momentum below it here. But just looking for the test. Now, this is not a setup. We're just reading the order flow and looking for a direction. Let's get into some of the setups, though, and start to understand like how we might be able to weave into some of these moves. All right, so well, in a downtrend, the sellers taking control of the market from this point on, and we're looking for maybe low volume pullbacks, and then getting back into the market. Okay, so some of these areas in here wouldn't have been bad, but you know, I'd look for those sellers to come in and curl in again and bring this market down lower. So yeah, we just got to 15 here, and we see the buying coming right back in. All right, so back up to the swing here, back up into the middle of the range. Okay, so now we didn't know that was going to happen, that this was going to come in. We're looking for these sellers to take it lower into that swing, and all of a sudden these aggressors come in. Okay, so traded right into and through the 17.25. And then we're looking, these guys all pulled at the same time here as well. Yeah. Okay, up to the top of the range and then some. All right, well, that should be enough. Yeah, I would look for a pullback at this point here. That's a pretty strong move, and that's good. We want to see that. But the market, look at the ATRs in here. Look at these ranges in here. Okay, this one stands out. So maybe there was some news that made that shift happen, but it's not normal. Even this move to the downside, it kind of did two in there, and this is all chop in here, right? So just based on that, up at the swing, we're looking for a fade back into a certain area. Now, it's a tough one to call because this is a very strong move in here. Okay, so where do you look for it? Well, you look for first off, the target would be some of these areas in here where there are pauses. Okay, Rob, this is something that we went through in detail about these strong moves, reading these strong moves, and then looking for retest two where there's maybe a little bit of a break in the strong move. Okay, the first break was here. It's already tested that twice, and then let's see if we can get a little more selling in here and then test below that swing with this liquidity here at 19 and a half, and then maybe some of these little areas in here as well. Okay, 18 and a half or 17 and a quarter down here. This is where I'm looking at in here, these little pullback moves, okay, and lining that up with liquidity. Right now, the assumption is that this was quite a strong move and the market needs to take a break. Okay, it is taking that break right now, and it's just going sideways though. Okay, so doesn't necessarily have to retest any of these areas whatsoever, but we're going to read this in here and get clues to what might that look like. All right, so yeah, more buyers coming into high liquidity here at this 22 and 3/4, right? All right, let's see if we can get our sellers to start to come in. Now, I want to see on this move here, I don't want to get caught in it, so I'm looking for sellers here at this 22 level. Okay, and then I want to see them break it back down to 20 and 3/4 and then 19 and a half. They come. There's our pullback. Let's see more sellers in here, and I want to see them break the range. Not yet. Let's get a bit more selling here. Here we go. All right, sellers, and let's see if you can drop it down to about this 19 and a half now. Okay, so there's not a whole lot to look at here in terms of the order flow. It's more about the price movement, the price action that we're talking about. Okay, the sellers that we're looking for, look at the bars, look at the dots in here. It's not a whole lot, right? The majority of the move in here is pretty strong buying, aggressor buying that move that market. So this is a counter trend move. Okay, but we're looking for a pullback due to the strong move in here that just take a break in here, unless there was some sort of other geopolitical stuff happening. Yeah, I think it's wise, DNT mattered, like just stay away from some of these things if you don't know, right? This is what we had talked about like many times over, and then we can jump into things that look surer, more sure. Yeah, so and then this in here is just too late for me to get involved, and then to try to look for a continuation move. This is where that volume picked up, and it's just not, the risk reward is not worth it. Anyway, yeah, so let's go over the I can just take you to here. There are several types of continuation patterns, such as bull flags, bull pennants, bull wedges, and bull triangles. Okay, hold on a minute, get there. Guys, I just noted we are, for those of you interested in Bookmap here, we just launched this here. So the Black Friday deals are just around the corner. All right, so I can't believe it already. So if you are interested in Bookmap, then and you're looking for a deal, this is the time. Okay, so anyway, take a look and read more about it here, sign up, etc. Yeah, look at the selling coming in now. This is what I want to cover though, like, because this is a hard read, like we had said. We came back up here, now we're back down into this area here, and now we're getting our bounce. So this is very trappy, stuff in here, trap, you know, all of this potential trap and a stop run to the upside, which we can verify if it's a stop run. Was a stop run here, this move above that swing, that makes sense. Small stop run here, and then nothing in here, and then a small move in here. Now, so these are small little stop runs here. But what does that mean if they're small little stop runs? That means these are new buyers in here. Okay, so that's where we can start to identify the trap, okay, or trap traders, potential trap traders, and what their behavior might be. We can see the stop run did unfold to the downside here. Okay, so people got it wrong, they're going to bail. Anyway, the main point I want to cover here, so we get to that, click on the More button, go to the Learning Center, go to Strategies and Setups in here, and then the flag pattern. This is a continuation pattern, and we go through these elements in here that make up the pattern and the order flow elements. Okay, because the candlestick charts, it's not going to show you these details. It's not going to show you liquidity. And this is what we want to understand, because the name flag does not matter. It is all about the trader's behavior within here that we want to understand and measure. That will give us the higher probability setup. Okay, so we go through the process in here in a diagram, then seeing it in Bookmap, and then here we have the checklist. All right, so you can even go to resources underneath and click on this link here and access the checklist. Now, the cool thing is the developers actually created a nice new little product, which if you're part of the Bookmap Academy, we can give you access to this. It is Setups Checklist here. Open it up, and we can grade and check out our pattern on the fly, okay, as we're going through it in here. So let's import flag pattern default. No, not that one. Let's go with you. Okay, here we go. All right, so as we go through and read the order flow in here, we have something to grade it now and have a checklist right in front of us. Is it there? Is this behavior that we're looking for? Identifying trap traders and developing scenarios around them. Okay, is it making sense? Okay, well, we did number one in here, or this one here, identifying the trap traders. Now we're developing scenarios around it. In fact, it looks like it really wants to break out at this point. And trade up into higher areas here, but we were just staying away from it. It just, you know, they're not bidding up underneath. That's one of the things we're looking for a continuation move, and they're not. It's dark in here. Sellers come in, they're able to come all the way back down to here, and hit that liquidity level we were looking at earlier. All right, so this is the process of going through this here and looking for like steep move, strong relative volume. This is what is going to make this foundation for a really healthy trade, because all of the things in here are building toward a potential move, and that makes a big difference. Okay, now you're not just like looking at small little things in here for a move. You're looking at more holistic picture in here and understanding the behavior in here, and then leaning upon that for a potential move, and that is a nice thing. And if we don't see it, then why would you want to lean on it? Okay, you want a good foundation, a strong foundation, and you know, take the best trades and learn to pass on other ones. DNT Matter had mentioned that he's going to pass for now. It's just not really looking that good. It's not that convincing for us to really kind of come up with a cohesive plan here. Okay, I mean, we're looking for the fade, not much of a fade, but a fade from the top edge here, because this was a very strong move. We need to take a break. Well, we got that. It took a little bit. It hit to the high here 3 times and then finally dropped. And then we're right back in this range. Came right back up to the high. So there are buyers still in here, and there are still sellers in here too. Okay, so it's more of a challenging read in here, and we don't have a lot of order flow pieces in here either. It was good to see them on the bid down here, especially coming back in, and we can note the how the market reacted to that. It came back up into near this liquidity up in here, and then we're right back down again. Okay. All right. Let me see if any questions here. We're not able to get your setups checklist to work, Rob. Yeah, I don't know. Did you reach out to support? I'm sorry. I'm not sure why. How about YouTube? How can you get paid when your limit is filled? Faro. Well, it depends. Like it's some of the markets are make or taker. Meaning if you make the market, you provide liquidity, you won't get a commission. But that means you have to have a limit buy on the best bid, and or a best on the best bid, and then or a limit sell on the best offer. Okay, at the best, you might not get filled, etc. Right? So, and most times with limit orders like that, the only way that you get filled is if it goes against you. So that's a part of the strategy, using your limit orders. Can we give premium and discount levels like footprint? Well, you can read the go to the website and read about that Black Friday event. Well, I'm sorry, it looks like more of a teaser. Look for that in the next few days, though. Right? Well, Black Friday is next Thursday, or next Friday. Sorry. And see anything else? Yeah. Shark Blue, you'll get access to, as an Academy applicant, you get access to it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, right? So let me show you that as well. So go to bookmap.com, click on the More button, and then go to Bookmap Academy here. That'll bring you right to the Academy page, and read about it here. You can see what you get in here, right here. Access to pre-release new products and add-ons. We're going to give you access to not only this setups checklist in here, you're also going to get access to the Market Pulse tool. And actually, Market Pulse tool might be a really good thing to demo with this kind of odd market here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's dig in deeper, because what we're looking at is really some very choppy, odd action with weird order flow, and looking for, like, in these areas in here, there's no one in control. There's buyers up here, there's sellers here, there's some buyers up here, there's sellers here, right? In fact, maybe there's a bit more selling in here now, and we just made a lower high here. Okay, so what you can look for in your range bound trading is a move up into these areas here, and then sellers to take it down, okay, just like they're doing right now. So, we're reading the order flow, or I'm sorry, the transactions in here, and then we're looking for these moves to unfold, right? And then we're looking for this also to potentially fail. Buyers come back in and then right back up into not only the middle of the range, to the other side of the range. Okay, maybe up into 24, 25. Okay, so this would be a failed breakdown. So it's really choppy action in here. Yeah, we can look for that kind of behavior in here. And what do we look for? All right, well, we're looking for this. Buyers back up above it, right there. Okay, at 20 and a quarter or 20 and a half. A big green dot. Looking for the book to maybe bid up in these areas in here, and we're not getting it right now at all. So anyway, some considerations, right, in this range bound market, or range bound time frame, I should say. All right, look at that selling in here. Boy, that looks like a beautiful trap. If these sellers can't move that market lower, watch this. Watch right here at 20. Should get a big green dot, and they'll lift it really quickly, and likely the next stop would be maybe here at 21 and a half, or maybe up here at the around the 23 level. Okay, well, no, we didn't get it. We didn't get that big green dot, but we still can. This is still wide open. And hold on a minute, check some things. Okay. I'll put this Academy link in there for you. Got a bunch of links for you. So here you go on YouTube. And what was the other one in here? Oh yeah, the flag pattern in here. We can go to strategies and setups. You can come here, put this in there for you. Okay. And what else? Oh, just bookmap.com in general to see the Black Friday. Okay. All right. So let's jump into here now. We didn't get that scenario in here. The buyers didn't show up, and that didn't unfold. Okay, so we can see sellers are still dropping it here. Now, would there be an opportunity to short in here? Sell this breakdown? Yeah, there could be, but it's not many points in here. This is what I don't like in this move to the downside. So now we're getting our scenario here, right? It just had to drop maybe a few more times, and now we're getting our scenario. Okay, so it's starting to unfold. Let's see if we can get more here. It's really back and forth in here, but pretty strong buying just came in. Okay, now we're looking for another retest back up there. Let's look at the microstructure in here and let's see. Okay, no, nothing. Sellers. There's a little bit of buying, but we don't want to see it down there. No, don't want to see that. Okay, we're looking for only one scenario right now. Okay, we're looking for buyers to come in and then lift it back up. Okay, here we go. Now let's see if we get a little bit more up here. No, not yet. We need to see the auction up here at this 19 or 1875. Nothing. Okay, do we see a trap in here? Yeah, maybe. Still got to get up here, and you see a big green dot. It's trying. And nothing. Okay, there they go. All right, do we get the book helping us out? Not really. The book isn't really helping us here. Yeah, I mean, See if we can get some momentum back up into 20.5 here. But this doesn't have all the pieces either for a move like that, right? So I don't think it's ready. And therefore, if I don't see it in the order flow in here, we don't have a piece of the puzzle. Okay, there's some exhaustion. Let's see if we get more buyers up here now on a retest. And that would be helpful. And let's see if we get our order book here to comply a little bit. Yeah, don't like it. I mean, it's kind of nibbles away, but we're not seeing the skew in that order book in here. So even this microstructure or smaller time frame here is a little challenging to read. Here's a little bit more up here at 20. This is looking good. All right, so let's see if we can get sellers drive it right back down now. Bottom of the range, it did auction down here, so sellers can drive it down there. And let's see if we get that. And we have the potential trap being all the buying in here and in here now. Okay, so we're getting exhaustion, lower highs, looking for sellers here, 1875. And no, it's just convoluted yet again. They're adding on the bid down here. They're adding a little bit on the offer up here. Yeah, nothing real good. All right, well, let's try another strategy or tactic in here. Let's jump into that market pulse tool. You guys from the Academy have access to this, so we're also going to have another TraderMap Pro. So Trader Pete, I know that you like the TraderMap Pro tool. I do too. I love it. But we will go over that in the near future as well, the new features. And let's add our market pulse. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can get something out of this with different different markets, different correlated markets in here. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's look at yes. Add that. All right. So now, what this a lot of you guys know that are very familiar with this this indicator here, the volume pressure. So we're looking at sellers on top here, buyers below, and then that pressure picks up. It'll cross that threshold here, and we'll get a noise, a sound alert. And let's see if I actually get it on that sell side here. Yeah, starting to hit. Now, this is what we want to look at though. It's selling, and we know the sellers are coming in. We can see them, and it's kind of reaching a peak here though. Now, is it reaching a selling peak into an area of liquidity? Yeah, kind of. And is it at a zone or an area in the price structure? It's not bad. We'd like to see it a little bit better than that. Someplace down here would be better at 15 or so. Maybe we're not looking for it now. Now, what we can do as we go back in time, we can look at these little areas in here where the green, the buying crossed that threshold, and you can see it in here on the chart. The red or the selling crosses the threshold. You'll see it here on the chart as well. Okay, so good stuff in here. Now let's align it with potential strategies in here. We'll pull back to this level in here, price structure. Okay, price structure. Pullback is right here. We have a lot of buying. Okay, not bad. You would have caught the top of it here, and then maybe you could sell it down in here, or bottom of a range in here. Okay, what about this one here? Well, that one's pretty good too. Look at this one, selling right below the range, and our buyers coming in back to top of the range here. Okay, so this is how one way to start to understand and use this tool. Okay, what about the selling up here? Okay, yeah, really down below this level. This is what we were looking at earlier. Now we could have used that at that time. We were looking for our sellers down into this area here, and we have our market pulse confirmation as well on the volume pressure. Okay, so maybe we can get a move back up into the range or other side of the range and get another extreme reading. We do, but it's way over here after a lot of other stuff has unfolded. Okay, so what we're doing in here is we're looking at ranges for price structure and volume pressure at the extremes. Very simple. That's it. Okay, we're looking for the liquidity as well to be filled in these areas in here. That's the context part. All right, so let's see what else can we go over. Here come the buyers back in. All right, so now again, let's. I mean, that's a nice little move in here, but is it trading into high liquidity? A little bit in here. All right, well, let's see if we can get now sellers then above this range in here. Sellers drive it right back down, maybe into the high volume node or the other side here around this 17 3/4. Okay, this would be your false breakdown or breakout and looking for a trap. And we're looking at this volume pressure to be peaking at that time. Okay, that's one way to start to align these and start to put together a potential strategy. Okay, so that's volume pressure. Now, what we can also do is we've got this for the ES. I don't know if you guys have been playing around with this, Academy members. We can create a new one in here, and I really like this one. We can add in volume pressure, but we'll click on the ES. I'm sorry, on the new one here. We'll click on volume pressure, and then we're going to look at the Russell, the ES, and the NQ all together. Okay, and that's it. So we have three very correlated markets. Slightly different, but pretty correlated markets, and we're going to look and see if that volume pressure matches the ES at that time. Okay, so maybe the Nasdaq's leading, maybe the Russell is leading, and then we can look for when that might start to hit, and then maybe that gives us insight to when the ES might start to hit as well. Yeah, it's not so volatile. I think Banger Trader is just really back and forth in here. Now there goes our selling here, and the ES has not picked up yet. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we already got a pullback here on that ES as well. All right, is that enough, or is that something to be worried about here? Okay, there they go again. All right, yeah, I'm actually looking for the selling to continue here on this one. Let's see if we can get it. We have not seen the ES hit that level in here. See, we have both lines in here. This line here is for the three different markets that we have: the Russell, Nasdaq, and S&P. Okay, there's an order book and balance. We got sellers. They should be able to drop it down into 16 now. Okay. That was very quick, but this is what we saw, right? We saw the reaction to this liquidity up here, selling. We already knew that we're selling in here before. Now we're looking for continuation. Okay, down into 16. And this is driving me nuts. I love it. I love the sounds. It's just a little much here. I gotta bring down the volume. Alright. Well, we got down to 17, just the bottom of the range here. That was it. All right. Any questions on this volume pulse, market pulse volume pressure? Boy, it actually worked out pretty well, even down here. Looking for the continuation, and that's something to take away and learn from this in here. Okay, even the correlated markets turned around. Okay, but they did give us hearing the Russell ES and NQ together did give us this potential move to the bottom of the range, to the 17 level, before the ES started to hit. Okay, so that was good. We can see it in here as well. You can see this this line in here is the ES, and then the one that was turning red in here is the three markets. All right. So something to consider. Another thing that I remember we were developing this. We wanted to shoot. I need to add a. Yeah, hang on a sec. You can look at your stocks as well, your bellwether stocks, Magnificent Seven, FANG, whatever it is, and let's go OK. And I need to come up and select it now, DX feed, and then let's add a few stocks. Google's one of them. Apple. NVIDIA. You get the idea. Okay, and now we need to add that into a synthetic instrument. Let's do it. Okay, let's edit this one here. It's not allowing me. Let's create a new one. Right. It's only on futures instruments at the moment here, I think. Should be for all instruments. Hold on. Yeah, I don't have access to it. That's a pity. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Adding a multi-choice instruments. That's what it's called, a multi-choice. Okay. Boy, heck of a session. All right. Well, just reading the order flow again in here, like I don't know. It's really back and forth, but I'm looking for these sellers in here now. I know we're at kind of the bottom of the range already, but I'm still looking for them to press into 17 and try to break into 14. We made slightly lower highs and lower lows in here, so just looking for those sellers to come in, and maybe we can do this. Now, we don't have the order book again at our back. and that's not good. Okay, so that's where you can get these buyers whip it right back up here again, but we can look for a pullback in these areas in here. Okay, see this buying in here. Let's see if we get sellers right here. And then the move to 17 and 16. Okay, we got our pullback. Rob, why isn't this pullback working right now? I have a question for you. It probably will now, but it's a different answer. Oh, great, Rob. Yeah, this is great. Look at this. Okay, so you've been putting together some of your content here. This looks great. Excellent. Yeah. See, I mean, reading these moves in here. Now, this is an odd one in here, like we said. Look at all that buying in here as well. But you're looking for these strong moves in here. The steep move, the angle has to be steep. You're looking for strong, consistent sell volume through this move, though, right? That's where it gets weird. And definitely a steep move in here, and move the market away. Yeah. So I mean, this is the big takeaway in here about these steep moves in here. And here's your measured move, which is really nice. It's good stuff. And the potential flag in here, but we just didn't. We kind of stayed away from it for a number of reasons for that flag pattern. We just didn't have all those pieces in here in the order flow to make this really kind of simple for us. And if it isn't simple, we just stay away, right? So anyway, really commend you. This is looking much cleaner, much better. And you're looking for, you're going through these scenarios in here too. This is what it looks like. Okay, but now go back and read in here, like, why didn't it work potentially? Well, one of the things is trap traders. Okay, now maybe it will in a bigger picture. In fact, like all of this could be trapped in here, right? So that's possible. Now that would mean buyers up here would really have to pick up the volume, okay, around this 45.24 level. If we do, 30 or even 40 would be, I imagine, be able to hit that pretty quickly. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, well, here we go. Okay, yeah, pretty steep move. It's already, see this little kink in it here? We've already pulled back to it. Okay, now again, looking for our buyers now. They're pulling here. They're adding a little bit on the bid. Okay, so yeah, looking for our buyers. And I'm looking for the move higher here because of that pulling and adding in here. Again, it's not something I would put risk on, though. I'm looking for that move to unfold, but it's just we're up pretty high, and yeah, I just don't feel comfortable about it. Okay, it has to really work for us right now, and right away. And do I really want to lean on all of that in here? It's not enough. I'd really have to see maybe another trap in here, for example, in that flag pattern, right? So there's just not enough in here, but we will still look for this to go higher. Okay, and it's mostly this strong move, and it broke above here. Let's just come back up and retest it up here, though. Right, so go through your checklist, and I know you don't have access to it, but you do have access to it from the learning center, right? From that learning center, you can go here, flag pattern resources. All right, let's add in the another market pulse too, guys. Just sorry. I mean, you know, we'd be more enthusiastic with really good price action. We're just not seeing it in here. And when we don't see that, like, boy, you can see the chop, right? So, uh, is it worth it to you know, put on risk to get just a couple of points in here? Really, maybe it's like 3 points, um, and yeah, not for me. All right, this is interesting here. We got a pullback here, top of the range. Okay, we do have some liquidity in here. Okay, we do see some buying in here. Here we go. Now, big green dot, looking for it, and then move right back up to the top. Now, this is another way to look at this flag pattern. And maybe you're not looking for it to come up into 24 or 25. You're just looking for it to come up to the top of the range here. Okay, and then reduce your risk. So there's different ways of looking at it here. Because yeah, strong move, but look at, there's a little bit of chop in here. You know, here the pullback is pretty steep. It's off of the top of this range in here, but we have some liquidity in here, and we do start to see some of the buying back up above here. Okay, so you know, it's short-lived. All it did was come up and test the top of this little range. We didn't get the top of the bigger one here, at least not yet. But yeah, just seeing this back and forth again in here, I don't see an opportunity in the order. Let's try our other market pulse indicator here. All right. So we went over volume pressure. Now the support and resistance in here, we went over this the other day as well. It's based on the order book, and it's going to be renamed. It's going to be called order book pressure. And we can let's also add with order book pressure in here, or support and resistance. Let's add in a few more markets here. Take a look. That's still loading. Boy, this just looks horrible in here. It could go either way very, very easily. All right, well, we can look at a potential trap again. That's really all we have. We have the stronger move over here. We're looking for the potential trap. Here's our false breakdown. And then we're looking for our buyers. And let's see it. If they can not only trade back to the top of this range, you got to trade above it. Back up into 22 or 23. And you can see we're getting our answer. All right, sellers came in, just move the market quickly. You just need to get your crystal ball back, friend. Rob, that's so untrue. Like, can we please fix the market? Yeah, I know what you mean, Shark Blue. As soon as you move and you go away from the market, it starts to move. Yeah, no, the crystal ball thing, it's so not the case, Rob. I mean, it really isn't. Like, you've been in here for a while. Like, if we just, the more objective we are at reading this order flow, the more likely the move will unfold. Don't get caught up in it. Don't really try to, lean on all of this previous market behavior in here. Oh, I know it's you're joking. I know, but like, really, it's about understanding this behavior of the players in here, and it's like kind of being on the floor almost. I've had, early on, we were demoing Bookmap to floor traders, and this was the first time they felt like they were kind of back in the game, because they can kind of read the behavior in here. All right, well, this is an interesting one. So maybe we're going to get our bigger move here to the downside into our 14 level finally that we were looking for over here. That's a lot of selling. All right, let's see what else we have going on. A disgusting price action. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, like, it's just you keep looking at it and you keep thinking, well, maybe we got it here, or maybe we got it there, and we just don't. And that just tells you something, though. Sometimes we look for something very clean and clear, and some of those worked out, but some of them didn't. Right, and we knew we didn't have all the pieces either. This is one of the reasons why I think the looking for the trap traders is a good one, a really good one, because you know that they're going to be buyers. They have to be to exit. The sellers will have to be buyers, and vice versa. All right, we finally got down to our 14 level here. Interesting to see this in the market pulls tool. See how they're pulling on the bid and adding on the offer. We had that order book skew in here. And here we go. One more. Let's see it. Sellers hit into maybe 12 or 10. All right, well, see all the selling in here? Controlling the market, moving it lower. Started up here. So let's look at opposite scenario here. If we can get those sellers upside down and have this work against them here. Here we go. Now this would be the squeeze is on. Let's see. Yeah, it's set up nicely. The squeeze will really be on up here. So we might get a nice move here actually. So above 16. Here we go. Let's see it, buyers. Let's see it. Would love to see it, and love to see a really nice steep move up into the swing up here, and really test these sellers up in here, maybe 20 as well. Now this is the tricky part though, on these. Yeah, we've got a trap here. It's there. It's also building here as well right now on the buy side. Right, so the other scenario we want to be very careful about in here is the sellers coming in below this 15 level here. And we want to see who's going to win this battle. And sellers are coming in. All right, sellers, you've got it here. You've got these guys. They will have to sell. Let's see if you can squeeze them. And no, can't do it. Back to the buyers. All right, buyers. Now now we have a little bit of order book. See the support here? All right, buyers. Now you've really got it here. You've got the selling in here. This is where we're looking for a move pretty straight right up into like 18 or 19 here. Okay, and we did have the order book on our side as well. Okay, now that happened quickly, right? But that's kind of the environment we have going right now. We're looking for that scenario. It started to play out, and then up here was the first target. Okay, so anyway, it's at least we saw something good in here, and this order book in here. See how much that helped us in here. That gave us the insight that once we start to see the buyers in here, we should get a steep move. Should see the stop run, and let's double check the stop run. Should see it, and actually we don't. Nothing significant, that's for sure. Significant stop run was on the way down. Okay, so that means that the sellers are still in here. Watch this up in here if we can get above these guys up here. Now there is a lot of selling in there, so that's where the squeeze. This is where the buyers want to start the squeeze and get up here into this area here first, and then the question is, can they continue now? Now again, let's take a look at the ATR in here. That's pretty strong move. I think we're going to look for a little bit of a break right now. Some profit taking, a little bit of a pullback, maybe sellers starting to sell more up here, etc. Thanks, Second Winds. Like you know, these are like pretty quick moves and jumping in there pretty quickly. And one of the things to kind of note though, like how we kind of saw that, and you know, like I said, pretty quick. But there's many things that could have unfolded here. In hindsight, it's really easy to look at some of these things, but with the order flow, you can look at it in real time, and then once it starts to play out, you're looking for it to happen, you know, pretty quickly. Well, yeah, I mean, you can just see so much more compared to your candlesticks in here, and you don't understand why your candlestick would do that. If you don't have the volume and the limit orders in here to give you that kind of guidance to the potential move unfolding, right? So that's why it's important to read the order flow, right? Because what kind of pattern is this in here? I mean, like you know, it's kind of a it's not a V bottom, but basically a move to the downside, a little bit of chopping around in here, and then a breakout here. Now our trend line broke here. Then our range broke up here. So now we're kind of hacking around again. Right now, there's a potential trap right here. See the sell dots in here? And where did it go? Look at that little kind of you know, notch in here in price. You know, went up, pulled back a little bit, and then it went up. That's exactly where the pullback has come. Rob, this is right up your alley. in here. You've been looking at these for a while. In fact, you've been looking at really deep pullbacks into something like right here and a high volume node, for example. I don't like it as much. The reason being is that it's a very strong pullback at that point. I would rather see a strong move, slight pullback, and then strong move, right? So I would rather look for that. I think it's easier. You're looking for these momentum plays, and that's why I wanted you to just study and get good at these some of these moves in here, right? These stronger moves in here. Yeah. Anyway, let's get rid of this. Okay. All right, and now let's see if we can get another strong move in here. Now we're, again, the pullback is, I think, likely here. Okay, something like this, maybe down to here, and then we get we get another strong move. Right, that's a potential scenario here. Okay, just by understanding these ranges and these measured moves in here. Okay, so here's our pullback. Okay, now what do we have in here now? Well, the bid is, there's a little bit on the bid. It's not bad. It's not great though. And then let's see if we can get our buyers come in here. And nothing. Okay, so here we go. There's some selling on the bid, 18.5. Okay, now it starts to set up for looking for the big green dot up here, and then to pull it right back up into top of the range, and then maybe more. Okay, now we're not getting it, but it's still possible here, right? There's even a better trap now. Okay, so we're just coming back down to the bottom of the range in here. All right, let's see. You see how this is where that selling came in here, and this move here, which is not really an impulse move, but it's the stronger move in here. That we need to get back up above it though. So we need to really get back up above 19, and it's looking just horrible in here. Look at, there's liquidity on both sides in here, and let's see if we can get it. If not, likely we can come back down into the 17 and maybe lower. Let me show you another one in here. So we have our support and resistance, or order book and balance. Looking at this order book here very, very quickly, if we can look at 5 minutes of sliding data, 10-second half-life, and then 4 intervals, price intervals. Very, very simple indicator. And just now we're looking for order book and balance to align with some of our levels in here. Okay, bottom of the range. Okay, below the swings here. And do we see sellers in here? No, we don't. So we don't have a squeeze. If we do get a squeeze, it has to be up here at 19. All right. So nothing. Look, they're actually pulling on the bid, adding on the offer. Okay, so now this is looking better though for that possible squeeze. All right, so we can go through a few things in here. Now this is not a trade recommendation, but it's just the concept in here of like this is the stronger move in here, but we have a small range. If we can get buyers in here, you can trade it back up to the top of the range and then look for the follow through to the upside here. Now, do we have a lot of pieces in here? They're starting to pull a little bit here, but yeah, it's not the greatest. There's the bid is showing here at 17, and it's kind of dark in here, so it can get filled in pretty easily. Yeah, I just started to see them pull in here, and I kind of like thought, well, maybe we'll get it. Okay, so there's still buying pressure in here. Okay, well, I want to see these guys pull, else, you know, I'm not looking for it. So yeah, starting to now. All right. See if we can get the bid a little bit stronger in here. Nope, another rotation. You can see what we're doing in here though is like reading and starting to look for like who's trading and where, you know, identifying sellers, identifying buyers, and where they're going to be really squeezed. Okay, like if we don't see a lot of sellers in here, we're not really looking for a good squeeze then. Now, especially below the range, get all these breakdown traders, and then right away back into the range, you get those buyers, and then you can look for these moves to the other side. All right, you're welcome. You're new to Bookmap. Can I explain the trap? Yeah, we're looking at the transactions in here, and we're looking at where you know, traders. So look, this is the squeeze we're talking about. Now I'm kind of leery of it, to be honest. And here's why. Like I mean, it is within this bigger move to the upside. There's some trap traders in here, but this kind of buying, I want to see that kind of selling down here for this to be a good squeeze. Okay, so identifying the buyers and sellers in here, the aggressors. Okay, and then looking for where, you know, they're going to have to be buyers, and it's going to be all through this area up in here. They'll have to be buyers. Okay, so we should get the squeeze here. The selling in here though is really not the best, and that's what makes me kind of leery about it, because now it might be the opposite case in here. That this buying is the squeeze, but they're not so far. So yeah, I'm looking for buyers to still continue higher, and I want to see them pull on the bid. There they go. They're pulling on the bid here with our market pulse, adding a little bit more on the pulling on the offer, adding on the bid, getting our buyers in here. Yeah, let's see it right up into this 21 level here. Yeah, and this one here, we're not looking for quite like the steep, quick move in here. The reason being is this behavior here on the offer is pretty back and forth. Okay, whereas before, it's that was a bit easier read, I thought. Now see them adding on the offer, pulling on the bid. It could flip. It could flip back, but yeah, I really like to see this here because this is our, yeah, this is looking actually better on that. If I zoom out a little bit more, it looks pretty good actually. Now like I really want to see these guys squeezed here. Looking pretty good for the buy side. And do we have room to move in here? Yeah, we do. So maybe we can move up to about 22.5. Okay, so we're just about at our 21 level. There we go. So that would be, for me at least, take some off at 21. That was the move I was looking for. But now if I reevaluate it in here, it's pretty good here. It's actually starting to kind of show this sell cluster a little bit better. And then I can see that I can just, look for this continuation move. There's still more fuel in the tank here, like this kind of move here, and this kind of move here. Well, maybe we can get something a little bit bigger in between the two here. So and that would match up into like this 22.5 area here. Okay, but anyway, again, it's going through this checklist in here and understanding what exactly you're looking for. I just highly recommend it, guys. Go check out that learning center, and it will go through these for you and what to look for. And this is a great tool in here to help you stay on the right side. And now, this is not always going to work, but this is a good starting point. And we want as much on our side as we can. I mean, like I was making the analogy that these are like football players or baseball players or something. You have your star players here, and they look good. Like a star player would be like a 8 to a 10 in here. When you look at this, identifying that potential trap, identifying the steep move and the relative volume. Right, and then you want that on your side, and the more that you get on your side in here, the more likely that it'll work. I mean, just think of like your sports teams. Some of the best teams, maybe sometimes some games they have bad luck, or some aren't. It's looking pretty good, but they're just not playing too well that day, or something weird happens, like one of them get injured or something. I hope the analogy makes sense. It's you have that star team. It is more likely you're going to win. All right. All right, guys. Well, anyway, let's we're coming to the European close here, just ending up, and this was our session here. So not a whole lot to look at, and we went through a few market pulse tools, getting a little bit of insight in here. But we're looking for something more concrete for these moves to unfold. We even zoomed in looking for something more, and just didn't get it. And some of them we did. I shouldn't say that. Some of these moves we were looking for, they did unfold, and we had some of the pieces in here, or we had more of the pieces for the setup than others, and that's what helped us look for something a little bit better. Right, because like this one here, for example, well, you would have been stopped out now. Okay, but this is where we would have taken some off up here, right? Looking for 21, taking some off, putting your stop at break even, get stopped out at break even. You don't know, and look for the next setup. And at least you made some money. It's about the risk management at that point. We didn't take the greatest setup, so we got something out of it, and look for a better one. Anyway, you can find all that stuff on the in the Learning Center. Like I said, in here under this strategies and setups course right here. Okay, so I'll put that in the chat again for you guys. Okay, and then if you're interested in joining the Bookmap Academy, you can get the market pulse tools here. These are in beta right now. You can get them for free for a bit, and also the setups checklist here. You'll also get that for free. All right. So yeah, we want to offer beta to you guys so that you can play around with stuff before others get it, and create some content around it. Try to find an edge before others do. All right. Yeah. Thanks everybody. Thanks for coming. Wish you a good weekend. I wish we had better price action. We didn't. But if you like, hit the like button, and come back on Monday. We'll go through all of this again. We'll look for, boy, we had some really nice moves on this daily chart, and looking for those higher highs, and back up into these areas here. And this chop does make sense. And I'm surprised, though, looking at this 15-minute chart, that this is it, really. Like, we did get the move down to here, 14. We were looking for that due to what we saw in here. It retested and couldn't make it. So that made some sense. But then we're looking for maybe a move back up here, and you can just look at this. This is looking pretty horrible. So anyway, that's what we have. And that's the market during this session. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good weekend, and we'll catch up with you on Monday. All right. Bye-bye.